I'm really interested to see how Franz and Swerve play together, quite frankly.
Yes. So, oh, that's right. No power-ups in the first minute. There'll be a little delay here.
Yeah, a little bit of a change for those of you veteran viewers. We're not going to have power-ups in the first minute of the half this time. So it'll be a little bit less luck when we're looking at the start of the game here. And it has started off pretty quickly here. Quarky and Gem in base with MTR and Break on defense on the other side. A nice grab by Franz. She's going to be able to get out of base. Going to watch out for that boost by Break. Nice route choice, but checkmate. Closing in very quickly from behind to get the return.
Meanwhile, it looks like Sir Dan's going to try to get out. Just couldn't quite make it past Corky. And MTR, do you know who MTR is?
MTR is MTR? I don't know. We got...
that was a close
I'm not
call
sure.
right
There
there.
are a lot of team
Nearly a cap.
name changes.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it
anyway,
really was close to a cap. They had some nice blocks in base, but just didn't have quite the right angle. I was watching the first MLTP game of the evening on Juicy Juice TV, and on that one, they had a cap within like the first 15 seconds or something. Looks like we're not going to be that lucky here tonight.
Not for Swerve's lack of efforts, though. He's pulling the jukes, but just checkmate. Doing some good defense right there. So good contain. And it looks
Absolutely.
like...
Now Break with a... He's got a tag pro to be able to escort Sir Dan and looking to maybe get a return as well. Nice moves by Franz cutting back.
Beautiful.
Now Sir Dan with the flag, a good boost route and looking for a kiss. And for Swerve, that's pretty good. He's got a rolling regrab, going to run out pretty soon. It was literally at the last 10th of a second he is able to get that kiss. Looking for a cap here. Can they get the return on MTR? No, MTR is going to be able to stay alive with the flag off the boost, off the wall, into his base, and looking to still somehow stay alive. Narrowly avoids getting returned by Corky, and MTR is just showing some fantastic flag carrying skills right now.
And if they can get a return on Corky, this could be very dangerous for Blue Team, but MTR sadly gets returned, and it looks like we're going to have both flags out for another little while.
Now we're looking for a regrab to get set up, and it looks like Break is able to get on the regrab. And checkmate with the flag, heading back. Gem and Franz slowly applying a bit of pressure, trying to get a reset here. Looking for a round of power-ups. Sir Dan with a nice pickup on that rolling bomb, and MTR with the tag pro. Looks like Dyson able to pick up a nice both power-ups that time.
Now, a tag pro is especially useful when you got to reset. It looks like, in this case, MTR's tag pro might be a bit wasted here just chasing, which is too bad because he really went out of his way to grab it, and that was a good heads-up play by MTR.
So something I just noticed, Grief Seeds strangely missing from the lineup here. I'm not sure what the story is there, but a lot of people on chat definitely noticing that. There's a nice snipe by Break to get the flag carrier returned.
Is it possible that MTR is Grief Seeds?
I don't know. I think someone said Mactheroni. I think that might be who that is.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense, yes, because Mactheroni is on their roster. It's a bold move by the captain.
Yeah, there may have been something that came up. I'm not too sure what's going on, but Sir Dan coming in with the flag, looking to get the first cap, not going to be able to do it. Corky trying to take the flag out, going to get returned. Franz looking like he's going to get returned as well, and a round of power-ups as Swerve is able to pick up a rolling bomb, and now the Ghostboosters with a nice power-up advantage, rolling bomb and a tag pro in the base, and let's see if they can get a grab out of it. Gem just opening up a lane here for Swerve to swoop in, grab the flag. Gem going to lead with the tag pro out of base. About 5 seconds left on that. Can they use it effectively? Coming into the base for the first cap of the game, and they can't quite pull it off.
And now on the other end, it looks like if Sir Dan can get the blocks, this could be a cap right here, but oh, great save by Franz.
Man, this is just going back and forth for both teams. A nice return, nice snipe by Break. Checkmate coming out the flag, Swerve and Corky in offensive D. Franz coming in, and Checkmate is going to have to double back, come up, try to pull some of the defenders away from the flag, which he's able to do, and just not getting any lanes. Some nice pressure applied by Gem and Corky right now.
What I was liking was right before this, Gem was playing anti-regrab on MTR, which in my opinion was the correct play right there, because she had 3 on OD, no need to add a 4th. If anything, the 4th might just get in the way. Meanwhile, if they had happened to get a return there, prime position to have a reset. And right now, she just grabbed the tag pro. Great play by Gem.
Absolutely. She had great positioning there. She was just pushing I can't remember who was fighting her, but she was just pushing him off of that power-up and just overpowered them to be able to pick up the tag pro. And Franz narrowly misses the handoff there. He had it in stride, but was just a few pixels past the flag tile. Gem just taking that tag pro, sitting on the flag, ensuring that it will stay in base for a little bit of time.
And with plays like the one that Franz and Swerve just did on that near miss of a handoff, you can see that they've practiced together. That chemistry is definitely there.
Yeah, and that chemistry is really important. That's kind of the bonus, the X factor, if you will. And we're seeing both teams that are having pretty decent chemistry, and both teams are having a lot of trouble capping on this map. When I watched that first game this evening, I saw it was a very high-scoring game. It was about 9 caps in the first half. And so far, we have yet to see one, although Gem with a nice block could have opened up a good opportunity. Look for that top left power-up here. Gem's going to come in, MTR as well, and Gem once again is going to be able to eke it out with a Tag Pro. Look for a Tag Pro kiss here, potentially.
Yes, if I were Gem, that's exactly what I'd do.
Look at that, Gem got the return, Tag Pro's kiss, and now Swerve's out of luck, going to have to head back and go for a kiss. That'll be a total reset, and Franj getting returned by Checknate. Both teams able to reset there.
That was a beautiful play by MTR to go for the kiss. Had he not, that could have been a very dangerous situation, but he did the right choice, or made the right choice, and came out with a reset.
Absolutely. And now both teams, honestly, have not been having too many problems resetting this match. Although once they get a reset, they aren't keeping the flag in base for very long. Checknate just barely misses the cap off the wall.
That was a close call. I really liked what Checknate did there with that boost.
Yeah, off that wall, that's the way to do it, because if you boost straight at the flag, the defenders are always going to be in the way to prevent that. Off the wall, those are the way to boost in with the flag. We've got the top left power-up coming up again. Gem is going to pick it up, and it's another Tag Pro. Gem has just been getting these Checknate with the cap, and there it is as Gem was picking up that Tag Pro. 2 Tag Pros for the Ghostboosters, and they were not able to prevent the cap. Because of it.
You have to ask yourself a question. They went out of their way, 2 players dedicated to power-ups, and they grabbed 2 Tag Pros, which usually is viewed as a good thing, but they had to sacrifice a cap for it. So unless they're able to manufacture a cap with the power-ups here, it's going to look like that might have been, in hindsight, not that great of a decision.
Yeah, a nice boost around by Franj there, but you really do have to start questioning that. I mean, power-ups are really important, but I think positioning a lot of times can be key. And speaking about that, it's return for cap. Franj almost messed it up there with pushing his flag carrier. Luckily, the timing didn't line up.
Yes, Gem doesn't look too happy about that, judging by the team chat. But,
no, she does not.
They have recouped, and it looks like a little spike right there. Who knows if that was intentional or due to lag, but this could be a cap right here, depending on how Swerve blocks.
Yeah. Off the wall, Sir Dan swoops in and grabs the flag, preventing the cap. Going to be able to pick up both power-ups as well. And that was a really clutch play by Sir Dan to prevent the equalization here.
For me, that's been the play of the half so far. Sir Dan dodging that block right there on the perfectly, pixel-perfect boost and saving the cap that keeps his team ahead. That's a great play by Sir Dan.
And I thought they were going to be able to get that cap because another round of power-ups were coming up. I was wondering if maybe the same type of thing would happen where everyone's distracted by the pops and then they're able to get a cap again. So I'm not too sure if, it looked like it could have happened, but it didn't actually end up happening. Checkmate with the flag. In base, Gem is just not going to budge off that regrab tile. She knows that she wants to get that regrab, knock it, nub step. Coming in, nice snipe by Franj. Gem's going to stay alive. Can we get the return for cap? Gem's coming in with a lot of speed, but they couldn't quite close in on the return. Swerve with the flag. Now we've got some momentum for Ghostboosters.
Yeah, it was a beautiful snipe by Franj and nearly a cap. But again, Sir Dan showing his awareness and poise on offensive defense, keeping the flag alive and preventing the cap. And if you were wondering if that still had it, definitely does.
Yeah, it seems like they're really keeping their heads on straight, being patient and allowing the place to develop. That rolling bomb unfortunately pushes Franj into the spike, and now Sir Dan coming in. He's trying to boost up the wall, but Gem saw it and is able to get an easy return there. Checkmate with the flag coming into base, and there was one Flaccid. Can he get around the other 3 players? No, that's a very difficult proposition in this map, especially.
I was about to say that looked like a really good regrab chain by the Dyson Majors, but I believe it was Franj who was playing on anti-regrab, and he prevented that regrab chain from being perpetrated even further. So good play by Franj.
Look at this. Yep, he's coming in. That's going to be an easy cap. Just great job getting out of base, and was able to take advantage of poor timing for the Dyson Majors because they had their players all out of position, and he was able to get past 4 with ease.
Meanwhile, MTR trying to keep the blocks on Franj, and it almost worked, but I believe it was Swerve who just got in the last second, and meanwhile, holy crap, great cap.
Yeah, that was just an unfortunate series of events there for the Ghostboosters. They just had a couple Flaccids, and then they're out of position with the 2v1 blocks. It really is interesting. We're seeing a lot of caps here at the end of the game. Are we going to see another one with 20 seconds to go? Franj with the flag. Serdan looking for the nub step. Swerve staying ahead. And it looks like Franj is going to just dance back and forth, checkmate and break, applying a little bit of pressure into the top left corner of the map. And we have just 10 seconds to go. Serdan gets returned. MTR out with the flag. And it looks like break and checkmate are going to be there. I don't know if we're going to see a cap this half. We've got Franj lining up the boost, looking for a nub step. Not going to happen. And your first half has a 2-1 lead for the Dyson Majors.
What an exciting end to the half. You got to say, that was quite the last minute or so. Great cap by Checkmate to give this team the lead going into the second half.
And I'm trying to look at power-ups here. It looks like Ghostboosters did very well on power-ups. Gem especially a standout here, having over twice as many power-ups as the second player. And I wish I had the stats on how many of those are actually tag pros. I mean, she had tons of them, it seems.
That's true. Sadly, though, it seemed like most of the time when a team had a tag pro, the other team had the flag out, so the tag pros couldn't be used to their maximum capacity. That being said, if you keep getting tag pros consistently, I'm going to start seeing an advantage to the team that does have them.
Yeah, that's true. And maybe on this map, maybe they're just not as OP as on other maps. Being similar to Velocity, there's a lot of different lanes, a lot of diagonal boosts. There's a lot of obstacles in the way. Maybe it's just not a map where a tag pro is going to be as effective as on other maps. And really, the power-up location is interesting. We're seeing those power-ups. Players are having to commit to sitting in that power-up corner and really take themselves out of the action when you know, maybe for 5-10 seconds, that could actually cost them a cap, and we did see that happen at least once in this game.
And nearly a second time for the other team, but I believe it was Serdan who was able to come in and prevent his team from getting embarrassed in that way. Now, one thing I think was interesting to note was in the first half, both teams had just over 6 minutes hold, almost to the second. I think it was 6 minutes 4 seconds to 6 minutes 12 seconds. So we haven't been seeing a clear dominance on either team. It seems like they've been trading.
Yeah, that's a good
jump
point.
Ahead and yeah, I think we could see quite an exciting game ahead.
I think so, and really a 2-1 lead. That's not a very large lead. Looks like the Ghostboosters will be going into half two with just a 1 cap deficit on a map like this. And like I said, we saw earlier games this today that had many caps in the first half. So this is a stark contrast, and I really don't think that anyone is out for the count. But what the Ghostboosters are really going to have to do is capitalize more on momentum. They lost momentum a little bit with those power-ups, and Flaccid's leading to at least one of the 2 caps there. And it really is about getting, can they differentiate themselves? Can they increase their hold time when they're going on into this second half here of the first game?
Yeah, it'll be good to see how they react to adversity. I thought they came back pretty well when they got capped on. They didn't let their pedal off the gas, and they kept going. They actually got a tying cap. Just in the last minute, Checkmate came back and gave his team the lead. So if they can give a strong start to the second half, we might be seeing a tie game.
Yeah, that could happen. I'm really excited to see what happens. This first half was really interesting because it really is the first time that you're being tested again. And like I said, it's been a really long off season, so we're coming into this game situation. I can imagine it just being a little different than, you know, they've scrimmed quite a bit, but playing the actual game, this is when it actually matters. And it may have seemed like it was a little bit of, I don't know if jitters is the right word, but there were just a little bit of sloppiness starting off this first half. It did seem to settle down towards the end of the first half. We saw flags coming out of base a lot more frequently, and we saw them staying out more frequently as well. And I think that as this match continues on, we'll see both teams loosen up a little bit more and potentially be seeing significantly more caps even going into the second half here.
Now, what I think is interesting is Griefseed sat himself, but instead of putting back a second defender, he gave Macaroni some minutes, who is himself an offensive player, which means Dyson Majors have been playing with 3 offensive players this half. So I wonder if they'll keep with that setup, because it's been working for them clearly. But it looks like Griefseed's just jumping back in, so maybe a more conventional duty setup.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Griefseeds is in the building and will be playing the second half. At least that's what it appears at this time. Not too sure what was going on with him, but it looks like he got it resolved and going to happen. And now, really, the Ghostboosters probably aren't going to be too happy about that. Griefseeds one of the more popular players here on the defensive side of the flag, and really will make this a difficult challenge for the Ghostboosters. They're going to really have to step up the plate to the plate here to be able to succeed against Grief Seeds.
He's been known for his supreme technical skill, especially when it comes to boosting and bombing. And in fact, one of his best weeks ever was on velocity. Now, this map, as we said, mirrors velocity in many ways in that it has a lot of boost routes. So it'll be interesting to see if that gives him an edge or not. As we kick off the game, both teams just heading into base.
Yep, and checkmate Sir Dan. Looks like Swerve going to try to get the flag out of base first, and not going to happen. Again, a little bit of a slow start here. Let's see, Sir Dan using the boost, not able to get a grab there. Checkmate Sir Dan. Both offenders are working as a unit here, trying to set up something. Maybe going towards the boost, faking the boost. Checkmate lining up the boost off the wall, knocks Gem backwards. And, man, both defenses playing really well. Look at that block by Sir Dan, almost able to get past Gem. Not going to quite happen, though.
That was a good play. We're seeing pretty technically sound defense right now, so the onus will be on offense to try to make something happen. And as I say that, Swerve manages to get out ahead of three.
No, not quite ahead of Break, and that was really good because Quarky and Gem had a nice 2v1 block on Sir Dan. That would have been an easy cap had Break not been there, so very good positioning for him. Good job getting ahead. And Franj just had the wrong angle on that boost, ends up going into the spike.
Unlucky because he managed to get around two players, but just couldn't get that boost angle correctly.
Swerve picking up the tag pro. He's going to grab the flag instead, going flag pro with the flag. Past one, and that's it. Coming into base. I don't know, was it Greasy's grabbed the flag? And he's going to go into the corner. Swerve, nice juke almost by Greasy's. Franj is going to be able to get a cap. And there we have it. They've tied it up. Ghostboosters 2-2 now is the aggregate score. Checkmate with the flag coming into base. And he's got 4 to beat at this point. Boost straight into the spikes. Those spikes have claimed 2 flag carriers at this point in time.
So Swerve did not intend to grab with the tag pro, I don't believe, but it did give him the advantage since he was able to get out. Once he died in base, that meant he was going to spawn with the tag pro, and it forced his opponents to react accordingly, move out of the way of the tag pro. They could see him spawning, and I think that's the kind of play that, you know, if you're a good player, you can turn a mistake play or a bad play into a good play, and that's exactly what he did there.
Exactly, and a lot of times I find that the tag pro really watch this boost here really quick with Sir Dan. Is he going to try something crazy? Not quite. I find a tag pro can really open up a grab situation. It's kind of like in football when you see the quarterback drop back for a pass. All of his receivers are drawing everyone off of him, and if he can get past the line, he can really like step up and start running himself because he like fakes everyone out of the way. And I feel like that's what having that tag pro allows you to do. It can really open up that lane for you to be able to go out and get a clean grab with the flag.
Yep. And it's a strategy that can be implemented by other teams as well. Just, you know, grab with the tag pro and then immediately kill yourself. That means that you get a reset in base and potentially a good handoff opportunity. Now, that's not what they're going for there. You can see that Swerve was trying to let Franj get the grab, but he turned it into a good situation. And now we're back to both flags being out.
Rolling with the punches a little bit, and like you said, oh, look at this, there's a return, and Ghostboosters have taken the lead with that, and now they're looking to get another cap, and Grief Seeds staying alive through the spikes. Wow, what a clutch move by Grief Seeds to prevent yet another cap for the Ghostboosters.
Very opportunistic by Franj there on the cap. He just hovered over the flag tile, hoping his team would get a return, and he was counting on them. They delivered, but great heads-up play by Grief Seeds.
Flag. Yeah, this is crazy. Now we're seeing things really pick up. Almost saw a second cap there, a 1-cap lead already for Ghostboosters, and Sir Dan is sitting on regrab. Franj with the flag. We got everyone coming in. Franj narrowly misses a nub step there, and now they've got the reset. Franj with the flag past 2, trying to get off the wall, but Checkmate closing in quickly to get a nice return. Grief Seeds taking the flag out as well. Break, going to be able to get a nice handoff to get out of base past 2. Quarky with the flag, maybe a kiss here.
Good kiss, and that's if you ask me. I mean, Break is a typical defender, so with guys like Checkmate and Sir Dan on your team, you want to have the flag in their hands as often as possible.
Yeah, that is a good point. It looks like Swerve electing to pick up the Juke Juice, and he's, you know, that's a much better power up for chasing than it is for being a flag carrier. So nice negotiation there. I saw both of those players were prepared to pick up that power up depending on what it was. Checkmate with the flag, and again, they're doing the same thing as you were mentioning, that kiss, giving Break the flag once again. Corky with the flag, looking like a return for Cap, but Corky isn't particularly pressured here, going to be able to stay alive. And really interesting difference to the game here. A lot chase here. Flags are out of base, and they're not staying in base really much at all.
Seems like offense has figured out how the defenders have been chasing, and they're countering it really well. Meanwhile, we were talking about the addition of Grief Seeds. So far, since he's been in, his team's gone down 0-2. So hopefully, for his sake, he can pick himself up by the bootstraps and try to get his team momentum back.
Yeah, that's what they're missing right now is the momentum. This power-up might help in the bottom right corner, but Sir Dan is just boxing Gem out, going to be able to pick it up, and now it's a tag pro. And let's see if they can do anything with that. They're down by 1 cap, just under 5 minutes to go. Rolling bomb picked up by Franj, and a nice defuse by Grief Seeds. Sir Dan, great positioning to defend the snipe there.
A nice attempt. We were talking about how Grief Seeds is good at sniping. He tried the long ranger there. I don't even think Swerve was in his field of view, but couldn't quite pull it off.
Checkmate going to grab the flag out of base, looking maybe a kiss. Not quite going to happen. Going to stay alive. Nice moves by Checkmate off the wall. Watch out for those team tiles. Going to allow Gem a little bit of room to catch up. Nice wall bounce by Checkmate. But Swerve is closing in. Franj with the flag coming in, looking to try to set up a nub step. Not going to happen. Sir Dan is going to hold his ground, make sure he's covering that flag tile. And here we are again with which team can get the return first. Franj with some nice moves past Grief Seeds with the flag. Going to do a nice double move against Break and force the kiss. And look at that anti-regrab. There may have been some communication there. They got 2-on-1 blocks. Swerve coming in, and now they're up by 2 caps. Nice cap there for the Ghostboosters, taking a pretty commanding lead so far with just 3.5 minutes to go in this second half of the first game.
That was a beautiful awareness on defense to play anti-re, but you got to feel for Checkmate. That was quite the hold he had there, and after the kiss, that basically sealed their fate.
And now we've got Sir Dan with the flag coming in. They're trying to come back. They've got 2 caps that they need for Dyson Majors. He's got the flag, getting past Corky. Not quite. I really don't know what he's waiting on. Just waiting to see some sort of an opportunity and not seeing it. Circling around, not getting much pressure though because their flag is stuck in base. Grief Seeds being aggressive, trying to make something happen. Grief Seeds made something happen. A nice snipe there by Grief Seeds, forcing the grab and getting an aggressive snipe. Checkmate with another snipe. And they're being very aggressive here, but it's not helping. Franj with the flag. There's one return. They've got 2-on-1 blocks. Franj coming in, and now they're ahead by 3 caps, and a very impressive performance by Ghostboosters this half especially.
Wow. You gotta say the defensive coordination on the Ghostboosters is second to none right now. They've been on it all game long. Just momentum has been keeping them in this, but the kind of communication they're having just in the contains in who's going to go for the tag, who's going to block, who's going to stay, prevent the handoff. You got to commend them on that.
Look at this. Checkmate out. Pass 3 coming in. We've got... can't quite get the block, so Swerve with really good positioning, forcing Checkmate to slow down. He's got a head back now. Got 3 to beat with the flag off the team boost. Break with the block, but Gem there to get the nice return. 2 minutes to go, and a 3 cap deficit right now for the Dyson Majors.
And look at that. Franj getting the reset again by playing anti-regrab. And a great little spike there by Franj. But to get back to the anti-re, Franj has been playing anti-re every opportunity possible. And look at that. They're up by 4 caps in this half. So something's working.
Yeah, it definitely is working. They really have locked it down so far this half. I know the first half at the very end they came up with the lead, but right now they've just been dominant this half, and it looks like nothing's going to slow down here. For 3 caps, there's not much time to be able to do that. Sir Dan with the flag and goes right into the spike. Checkmate grabbing the flag, break it in the way a little bit, going to hit the boost off the wall. Swerve almost gets a return. Checkmate staying alive somehow, and finally going to get returned. And Corky pulling the flag out of base. Looks like they got a shot for a cap here. Break coming in. Checkmate can't quite block 2 players. They've got him sandwiched in there, and that's going to put an end to that chance.
Now with a minute left, you got to think that Ghostboosters have this in the bag, right? Or do you think there's a comeback in the cards?
No, I think this one's almost a done deal. I do want to point something out for the chat here. A little bit of confusion. I just want to mention that on MLTP Live, we do have a scoreboard that shows an in-game aggregate score. So the score of 5-2 is the entire Game 1 score. We've already preloaded the half 1 score into that, and we'll be doing that on every game here. Just like when you watch a football game, you'll be seeing the aggregate score rather than each individual period and having to do math. So it's really a nice 3-cap lead here for Ghostboosters, and 30 seconds to go. It's not probably possible for them to come ahead and get the win here. They're going to have to set their sights ahead for game 2. And so we've got the final 20 seconds in the map. Checkmate with the flag. Swerve going to get a return. Quirky looking for a return for Cap. Not going to happen. Sir Dan coming out with the flag. And there it is, the return for Cap. They've come it, and now the deficit is cut to 2. But with just 7 seconds left, it is officially impossible. And the Ghostboosters will come away with the win with 5-3 as the total score.
And this half, Franz putting on an absolute clinic. 3 caps, 5 power-ups, and all the resets that he was getting on those anti-re. I gotta say, Franz, quite the standout performer. Now,
yeah, I'm looking here again. The power-ups, yeah, that's a huge win for the Ghostboosters on the power-up front.
You have 14-4 in terms of power-ups. That's definitely helped them out. They had a couple tag pros, some timely rolling bombs. I mean, you make your own luck.
And looking at the scoreboard here, so we'll be going into a different map, and I think that'll be really nice for the Dyson Majors. I think they're really just not quite firing on all cylinders on this first map, and the change of pace on the map will probably be nice for them, so they can maybe apply the reset switch, try to look at the fundamentals, and really the biggest thing I think they need to change is how they've been doing with power-ups, which actually is indicative of losing momentum. A lot of times you'll see this. If a team is having to chase the whole time, they're not necessarily going to be able to go in and commit to those power-up fights as well. Once you start losing power-ups all the time, then it's hard to get momentum back. So it's a bit of a recursive cycle. And I think focusing on those power-ups right away out the gates will be really important for the Dyson Majors team.
That said, speaking of momentum, Dyson just came out with a cap for the last 10 seconds. And you got to think that maybe that'll give them a little confidence boost, the confidence that they need to get their mojo back in the game 2.
Correct, yeah.
Now, if we look at the scores around the league right now, as we just saw, Ghostboosters won 5-3 against Dyson Majors. Meanwhile, earlier in the evening, Golden Gate Warriors lost 6-9 and 2-5 against Role Models. So a nice sweep by Role Models, and currently it looks like I guess that King Ballers are ahead 2-1. Boost and Dynamo beat all caps 10-1 on Rush and 5-4 on Iron. So another commanding performance by JJ Pool's team.
The issue originates
should be interesting to see how Iron plays out for the Ghostboosters and Dyson Majors.
Smaller and less powerful.
Yeah, I agree. It's
the small but powerful
it's really a different type of map, and the gate, as you were mentioning earlier, is something I'm really going to be focusing on. Can we see that gate being used, especially on the offensive side of things, to be able to get some nice caps? Those are the best caps to watch on this map.
Now, do you think any of the teams are going to go for any roster changes going into Game 2? It looked like Ghostboosters were gelling pretty well, at least in those 2 games. They do have some quite good offensive replacements if they need them in Jake from SF and Protagonist, who are arguably just as good as the starting pair. However, for Dyson Majors, who kind of got blown out a bit, 4-1 in that second half, do you think they're all going to be looking for a change or a roster change, something to give their momentum back?
You have to wonder. I mean, they played better in half 1 of the first game than they did in half 2. So do they consider a roster change? That could be something they think about, although I think, you know, they might want to give themselves another chance in half 1 here with that same starting squad. And then if the same thing happens, maybe half 2, they can switch things up.
Yeah, I mean, we've all played in competitive teams before, and consistency is key. Once you can establish chemistry and just get your mojo back, start your communication game, you're familiar with the players you're playing with, you start playing better. So I think maybe avoiding changing players, as you said, could help them out in this coming game.
Right. Yep. That actually really will be something that we're gonna and really, like, this is their starting 4. They really want to try to develop that if possible, and this is kind of their testing grounds, being the first match of the season. So it'll be important for them to see, like, hey, does this actually work out? Do we need to tweak things a little bit? So this is an important game for this starting lineup. They may be doing a little bit of shuffling around.
Yeah, we'll see. But it's not like they've been playing poorly either. I gotta say, Checknate was putting on quite the moves on offense. He was impossible to catch for the other team. For Ghostboosters just couldn't get a return on him last game. Most of his returns, I'd venture to say, were on kisses. So a good play by Checknate, and same thing in the half one. Serdan was commanding his offensive defense game. So I guess the question is, can they just keep their game elevated? And if their defense can start getting more consistent resets, then that might turn the tides for them.
Yeah, and it looks like we're just about ready to start hopping into game here. Once again, it's a really interesting change this season where we don't have power-ups the first half. I think I am too. I think the idea behind that is that power-ups the first half could be, or the first round of power-ups could be giving a certain team an advantage. If one team gets a free tag pro and the other team gets a juke juice, then perhaps it's not going to be very easy for them to score cap, or maybe they'll get scored on right away. So eliminating that gives everyone a fair shot at getting every single power up.
Exactly, and it has to be more deliberate as well. Like, you have to go out of your way. You have to keep the power ups in mind when the minute comes around, rather than here it's just they're in your face in previous seasons. So both teams kick off. We're going to see who can get a grab off first.
Interestingly enough, I saw on both sides of the map they were hitting the button. The defender was getting on the button, which you would typically see when we have a first round power up, where you would want a teammate to go out and pick up the mid power up. But no one actually went through the gate, and I think I was wondering if it was actually by a little bit of a habit that they were going towards that button at the very beginning. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how defense chooses to play this map. Most defenses play with 2 on the flag, but some will choose to place 1 by the defensive team boost and 1 on the flag, kind of like Smirk, where one just waits for the snipes and the other one prevents or at least guides the grab. It looks like both here are playing 2 on flag, so we'll see if that changes
and
throughout the
game. Worked well so far, so I think, and it could be a valid strategy. Another round of, our first round of power-ups coming up here. Every single player is fighting for power-ups except Corky's all alone, and it looks like the Ghostboosters are able to pick up 2 power-ups, 2 out of 3, so that could be helpful. Tag Pro staying on defense.
Yeah, smart play by the Ghostboosters there to send Corky with the rolling bomb on offense and just Gem sitting on the flag, because there's no way they can get a grab off a Tag Pro waiting on the flag. Sadly, it didn't work out. I think Corky almost hurt Franz there by blocking him.
Oh, look at that. Corky's able to get out. A little bit of a misstep as both players are going at the same snipe direction. Swerve trying to set the blocks. Nice position by Serdan, going to prevent the cap, but now they've got the momentum. Franz with the flag, and Ghostboosters are right on top here again with the momentum at the very least. Grief Seeds closing in. Franz off the wall, a nice bounce, and Grief Seeds trying for a backwards snipe and almost ahead, or it was actually a forward snipe, but almost had it from behind. Franz going for a tricky wall bounce for the split, but not able to pull it off.
And that right there, those corner jukes are really powerful. And Serdan somehow gets ahead of Gem. Wow, this could be a cap here, especially with the Tag Pro.
Right, can they loop around and get ahead of Corky? No, he couldn't get past Corky, and that's unfortunate for them because they had the Tag Pro. Although, Checknate coming in with the rolling bomb. Greasy's very aggressive here. They've got the Tag Pro. They're coming around, but Gem's got the angle. A little bit of an overcommit. Watch the Tag Pro. Gem's going to pull the flag. She's going to stay alive for a second, but not long enough as they're going to get a cap, and now the momentum has changed a bit as the Dyson Majors are starting this one off with the lead.
That right there is a perfect use of power-ups. I believe it was Grief Seeds who had the Tag Pro, grabs a Tag Pro, and he just tells his teammate, I guess Checknate grabs a rolling bomb, he tells his teammate, just rush it. I got a rolling bomb on regrab, we got a Tag Pro in base, let's make the most out of this. So they couldn't quite make it. I think it was Serdan who tried to come in for a cap, couldn't quite make it, but didn't matter. Checknate had the rolling bomb, he knew what he was doing, killed Swerve on those mid spikes, took his time to come in for the cap, and got the cap. 1-0 for Dyson Majors.
Yeah, that was an all-around great use of power-ups, and speaking of power-ups, we got another round up. Rolling bomb diffused immediately on the right-hand side. 2 Tag Pros, 1 for each team. Look for a kiss here. Very common when you see both Tag Pros. Quarky is going to be trying to kiss Serdan. Serdan's going to try to stay alive and just use this boost, see if he can get past him.
Yeah,
looking
at this point,
go ahead.
Kind of a stalemate when 2 Tag Pros are in base. You just wait them out, wait till they expire. And just get
they're just eyeing each other up and didn't really do anything. Looks like there's a bomb here. Checknate's going to be able to get a grab. A nice combo boost, going to be able to be past 2. Looking for some good blocks, heading into base. Grief Seeds with a nice block, but couldn't quite get past. And now Checknate's got 4 to beat. Going to have to be a little creative here Gem closing in for a nice solo return.
Now, I'm surprised that the Ghost Boosters didn't opt to go for play for anti-read there, but just a second, that was a beautiful boost curve by Sir Dan, somehow evading those mid spikes.
Sir Dan is just sitting here like calculating these angles. He's waiting on the power-up. He was a little bit too early on it, but as a tag pro, so it wouldn't have done him much good anyways. Reese's with the tag pro as well, gonna boost in. And can Franz stay alive here? Not quite. Swerve picking up a rolling bomb. Just very interesting turn of events there. The tag pro ends up not being that helpful either on defense anyways.
Swerve using that rolling bomb to push away the 2 defenders. He's ahead of 2. Now he's coming into base. If he can get the blocks, that could be a time cap.
Got some blocks. Break gonna come ahead, and now he's got 4 to beat. And he's past 2. Gem with a nice block. Checkmate grabbing the flag. Gonna try to stay alive and is able to do it. Swerve getting returned. Franz with the flag, and now the Ghost Boosters have a slight momentum boost, but Grief Seeds closing in. Franz with the flag off the wall, coming around the corner. Watch the bomb. They're going to grab the flag. Sir Dan again snagging that flag at the last second to prevent the cap. He did that once in the last map too, and boy, is that a pleasure to watch.
Oh man, Sir Dan, that bomb was calculated and played perfectly. We thought that might be a cap, but no, Sir Dan just came in, prevented that from happening. Oh, almost a great button usage right there.
Look at Franz missing the tag pro. He boosted up at the tag pro, just barely missed it, but then was able to swoop around and pick it up.
Well, a lot of exciting play right now. It looks like the game's opening up here.
It is, and look at that tag pro. That tag pro is actually crucial. We've got a gate here. Not going to use the gate. Didn't really have to. Going to come up, and that's going to even it up with a 1-to-1 score. Nice job with that tag pro. And go ahead.
Yeah, great use of the tag pro. Both caps have come off tag pro usages.
Yeah, and I think maybe that is the difference. Maybe this map is a little bit more friendly towards the tag pro, and you can actually you have fewer channels, and they're a little bit narrower. That can really open up a nice lane for your flag carrier to come in and have an opportunity to cap. Checkmate with a nice cutback. He's going to have a little bit of button help, but not quite long enough as Gem and Corky both double team Sir Dan to push him off the button.
And regarding tag pros, it's true what you were saying about the fewer lanes, but I think the real key here, as I was saying earlier, is tag pros are more useful when you have a reset than when flags are out. And on a map like Iron, you're going to have a lot more resets than on a map like Rush. So that's what made the difference. Both times they got a reset and they were able to kill off the OD. Get an easy cap right there.
Oh, Checkmate trying for a filthy split there. Not going to quite pull it off. Gem and Corky need to split apart a little bit. There they go. They're covering several angles. Gem going to come ahead and try to block off the top route, but Sir Dan's going to boost right past her. There's some nice blocks by Grief Seeds and almost snaking through the offensive D for the cap, but couldn't quite pull it off. We're still at a tie game with about 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go.
Sir Dan's been absolutely stepping it up this half. You got to admit, those offensive defense plays on top of that juke right there that nearly gave them a cap. Hats off to him. Oh my god! Oh my god, that button was beautiful. If they can get the blocks here, that could be a cap, but Corky can't quite get the block on Sir Dan. Can this happen? It did. Wow.
Oh, they still got it. That was absolutely... Yeah, that was absolutely phenomenal to watch. That was really brilliant.
The whole cap was pixel perfect. Starting at the gate, going all the way to that end cap. Great play by the Ghost Boosters.
Gem with the tag pro, but look at Break manages to stay alive, splitting the players, and that's going to be a forced kiss. Sir Dan with only a couple seconds left on this tag pro going to lead the charge forward. It's going to run out, and he's doubling back for a regrab, and things have settled down a little bit. Swerve with the flag in the top left. No one else chasing him. Grief Seeds has left the team and rejoined. He's going to have a 10-second penalty. Can the Ghost Boosters take that to their advantage? Gem closing in, getting a return. Break with the flag. It's one-on-one. Gem versus Break. Can they get the return for cap? They can. Nice return for cap, and they take advantage of the power play, and now they've got a lead 3-1. Again, a 2-cap lead here for the Ghost Boosters early in the first game. Second game, actually.
Gem
first half of the second
return,
game.
But she doesn't seem too happy about it. She's talking about that solo D team chat. It worked out. I mean, that was a great solo return.
Yeah, she was put in a situation where she was playing solo D, but it was a look at that gate. We've got the gate play come in, and Checkmate trying to get a last-ditch snipe, unable to do it. And now the Ghost Boosters are starting to walk away with the game once again with a 3-cap lead as we're getting close to the final minute of the first half.
So you can't help but think there, was that a smart play by Checkmate to wait up by the boost, or did he not have communication knowing that the flag was coming through the gate? I mean, at that point, it's almost better to just put an extra body in base, kind of kill a bit of time, help your teammates catch up.
Yeah, it could have been a bit of breakdown in communication, not knowing where the flag carrier is or how many he's passed. That boost could be a nice surprise spot to really contain against that middle lane, but not when you're the last person ahead.
Mid, but, yeah, I think he was expecting him to come through mid, and you could just get a quick snipe, or at least, you know, prevent the flag carrier from entering base and delaying his entrance, allowing his teammates to catch up. But instead, a good heads-up play by, I think it was Gem on the button, allowing his teammate to come through the button, through the gate, completely annihilating that idea that Checkmate had on the boost. So maybe it was less of a poor decision by Checkmate and just a better heads-up play by the Ghostboosters.
Yes, definitely. That was interesting. The boost from the top off the Tag Pro almost pushed everyone out of the way to give an easy out. Look at that button by Swerve. Gem trying to come in. Doesn't have a second button. Going to have to cut back, and now has quite a few to get past. Whoa, look at that move by Gem. A nice double move to get past a couple players, but couldn't quite get past Break entirely.
3, 2.
That was a good play by Break, not giving up his ground, just keeping Gem contained, and the game ends 4-1. All 4 caps
yet again,
Swerve, no less.
Yep, and we saw Tag Pros very important. And look at yet again, the Ghostboosters are in the lead with power-ups.
Yeah, doubling
We've
up
got,
Dyson Majors, 18 to 9.
Yeah, so that's I don't know. It's a really dominant performance here from the Ghostboosters, and we saw that in game 1, and now they're carrying that into game 2. This is really nice momentum booster for that team.
So we saw this last game. I mean, on Rush, first half, each team had 6 minutes to hold. Second half, one team had 6, the other had 7. Flag out all the time. So despite power-up dominance, you couldn't really get those resets with Tag Pros. Now, on Iron, both teams had 2 minutes and 3 minutes respectively. The Ghostboosters with 3 minutes to hold. So, or no, actually I believe it was 3 and 4. Either way, that's way less. That's markedly less than on Rush. And that meant those Tag Pros counted way more. And as you said yourself, I mean, most of the caps came off of good power-up usage.
Yeah, it's really shocking. I thought that the Dyson Majors would really be able to take a step back from that first game, reflect, and come into the second one with a new found I don't even know, perspective on it. But we're seeing a lot of the same mistakes. It really is a bit of a repeat of the first game, losing power-ups. They're having trouble with positioning, staying ahead. We saw that boost with top Checkmate coming in from the top boost, and just didn't quite have a really high percentage play there to be able to prevent that cap, and just breakdowns in communication around the board. Now, this isn't unwinnable on a map like Iron.
Yeah, and individually, I would say pretty much every player on Dyson Majors has been playing quite well. You know, I mean, we were highlighting great plays by Serdan, some good jukes by Checkmate. Break had a great return there on Gem, and Greasy just been doing his thing all game long. But on the other hand, you've got Ghostboosters, who, sure, they've been doing good individual plays, but I think their strength comes from their unity. And you said it yourself before the game started. This Ghostboosters team is almost identical to the one that played last season. And I think we're starting to see this chemistry pay off this week with a win in game 1. And so far, they're putting themselves in a really good position to get a second win in a row.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I agree entirely with what you've said. We're seeing some, high quality players, and both these teams are actually very solid teams. You can really see that. But it's the Ghostboosters who have been managing to work together very well on the offensive and defensive side, and it's been really showing and improving that they've been coming ahead because of that. And yeah, it's going to be very difficult. Was a 3 cap deficit here for Dyson Majors. That's going to be tough to start and try to come up back against that. But looks like we're going to start the game soon, and not going to have a first round of power-ups again. It's really interesting dynamic starting the game off without that first round of power-ups. I'm wondering if we're going to see like a different feel to the start of games because of that. Like, have we seen a flag get out yet in that first 30 seconds? I don't think in our stream we have seen that yet.
No, this game has been pretty tight from the beginning. The defense has been shutting the offense down for at least the first few minutes. It seems like both teams really kick into gear offensively as the game goes by.
3,
so we'll see if we can get a couple early caps here. It would be exciting for the viewers.
Yeah, and it'd be exciting for the Dyson Majors if they can be the ones to do it. We're starting the match off here. It looks like Sir Dan and Checkmate in base trying to get the flag out, and Swerve trying something interesting with the boost. The bombs were cleared because the defenders were making sure that they cleared those ahead of time. Break clearing the boost as well, and really difficult to get out, but Franj is going to be able to get the flag out. A nice little misdirection there, looking for a potential gate. Didn't think he had it. Heading straight up off the top boost here, and coming off. Oh, and that's a nice cap by Franj. That was beautiful, and now they've extended their lead by one more.
That boost combo was amazing. I'm sure he practiced that, but you could tell. I mean, that was quite the rehearsed route, and he did it. He executed it perfectly.
And now Checkmate with the flag off the wall, and boy, that was a beautiful cap to watch. I'm still reflecting on that one, but a round of power-ups finally, as we've got the Ghostboosters swooping up all three of them. Break coming into base, and he's going to get a cap anyways. Look at that! Tag Pro Suicide. Along the cap, they had the huge power-up disadvantage, but they still were able to cap. That's really quite something. Huge
Adversity, or I guess overcoming in the face of adversity there by the Dyson Majors. They were down 3 power. And they had 2 rolling bombs coming into base, even a tag prone base, but that tag pro suicide, the poos right there, you gotta love those plays.
Looking for the cap. Yep, they got the cap. And look at that. That's a second cap. Gonna reset things though.
And again, like the game on Rush, the team that lost the first half takes an early lead in the second half. And we're talking about early caps. First 2 minutes, we've seen 3. So you gotta be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, that's quite something. We got another round of power-ups coming up here. Looks like the Dyson positioning for them. Going to be able to pick up at least 2 of them. And let's see if Greasy's can do anything with that rolling bomb. Going to try to push Swerve into a spike, but not too successful. Look at this bomb defusal here. Checkmate having a little bit of trouble getting out, and nice job by Gem being aggressive at preventing the handoff there. Trusting. That's where you see that. Yes, that's where you see that.
You go.
That trust. Yeah, it's that trust, right? The what are we calling it? The how well you get along. What's the word? Chemistry. That's the word I was looking for. That chemistry the two of them have, allowing them to trust each other.
Well,
trying to get a cap. Look at this bomb defusal. Gem just narrowly missing the grab. Gem is on offense right now, and she's going to actually take the time to walk all the way back to defense. And now they're going to be out of position.
Looks like both teams get a reset. Checkmate's out.
Going to stay ahead. They lost the offensive D as Gem walked all the way back. Checkmate going to get the rolling bomb defusal. Greasy setting up a nice block. Checkmate coming in, going to get the cap. And now it's just a 1-cap game. Beautiful teamwork. And now Serdan coming in for a try with what could be the tying cap. Look at this turn of events here for the Dyson Majors.
Meanwhile, Corky gets out ahead of 3. Great juke right there, but it was a kind of a return to cap situation. Good job by Serdan just going back, playing it safe, and keeping his team in it.
Corky having trouble getting out. Grief Seeds covering the top choke. Oh, he got a little bit, he got juked out there, but breaks there to cut it off. And Sir Dan in base, not going to be able to have anything, but look at this momentum. Grief Seeds with the backwards snipe. He's known for those. Checkmate coming in with the flag. They've got a couple blockers. Swerve cutting into the inside. Checkmate coming down, and not going to quite be able to pull that cap off, but the momentum is all in the Dyson Majors' hands here with 6 minutes to go, 1 cap deficit.
And you can see it in the hold. They've been holding over twice as much as their opponents. A great power up there by Serdan, staying alive, getting the rolling bomb, and if he comes in, he's got 2 blockers. This could make something happen if he's got the magic touch.
And he's going to try to line up a boost off the wall, potentially going to have to get past 4. This could be a highlight play if he can pull it off. He's just lining it up, going to be forced his hand. He's coming in, not going to be able to pull it off. Maybe do something with this boost off the right-hand wall, and going to fake him out back and forth, being very patient. Lining up some boosts. I don't know what he's doing, but he's being very patient. I know that much. Going to try to loop around, getting pushed back a little bit. Break and Grease Seeds both boosting way away from the flag, but the Ghostboosters can't even think about grabbing something right now. I don't even know what Gem's doing. Maybe heading ahead so that they get they're pulling regrab.
That was a smart play by Gem. She was
strategy.
playing anti-regrab. She was playing anti-regrab, and she'd been doing that for about 15 seconds, 20 seconds on checkmate, but she could see
Sure.
her team was not getting a return. Serdan was baiting the players out, so she had to come join the fray. That was a good counter to the anti-restrat by Serdan.
Now we've got a sub in for Heisey. Checkmate coming in. Do we have a gate? Not quite. There's a rolling bomb. Checkmate's going to be able to use that juke juice to stay alive. Coming up off the top. He's got an angle. He's going to take it off the boost, off the wall. Coming in to try to tie it up. They've done it. Checkmate coming in, and they've come back from a really large deficit to tie it up here with still 4.5 minutes to go. Serdan coming in with the rolling bomb. He defuses it. They've got some blockers. He's coming up off the corner and going to get trapped there. Going to get a return, and Checkmate's going to try to come up for the flag, but look at that nice timely flaccid by Franj to be able to get back into base. Checkmate with a nice double move. Franj going to line up the boost. Looking for a gate play here. They've almost got it, but Serdan just a nice play by Heisey, just backing up, letting Serdan overcommit off the button.
And this is a great comeback. You got to give credit to Grief Seeds for his blocks. The last two caps have been all Grief Seeds. I mean, his offensive player has been reading the blocks well, but that boost block on the last cap, that was pure class.
We've got power-ups coming up. There's a middle power-up coming up in 2 seconds. There's a rolling bomb on the left that Gem may be able to pick up, and she has. There's a rolling bomb at the bottom. Return for cap, but Serdan smartly cuts away, knowing that Gem with that rolling bomb is not likely to be returned anytime soon. It's a tie game here with 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go after a really nice comeback by the Dyson Majors, although now Checkmate's going to have trouble. Grief Seeds being very aggressive when he had to be, getting the return. That was a crucial, very good decision by Grief Seeds to push forward in that situation.
Woo!
Oh no!
Speaking of crucial.
That was just unfortunate. I don't know if anyone made a major error there. It just, things did not line up well.
You kind of got to give credit to Serdan. He saw the boost coming and he positioned himself in the right way, such that he knew that if he got hit, he'd get hit into a return. At least he was hoping for it. I don't think that was a mistake.
Yeah, that was really just good positioning and anticipation. The left power-up is still coming up in like 8 seconds, so really lining up early for it. Checkmate going to grab the rolling bomb, potentially use it for a grab. And right now, I think that, wow, Swerve actually stole the tag pro there, going to sit and allow Franj a path to get out, going to try to guide him out. He doesn't know which player to go towards, so he ends up just going right towards Franj, coming in to try to take the lead back, not able to do it. There's the return, 2.5 minutes to go, and we're still at a tie game.
That could have been risky had Gem not gotten that return there, because they were all in their base. But, I mean, credit to her. She got that return and prevented them from having their play go awry.
That was a nice return there. Franj at the very top of the map hits the button, pushing the flag carrier into Gem.
And now it's a return for cap situation, but Serdan stays alive, astutely using that bomb. And we're going to go out for another two flag carriers out of base and just taking laps.
Looking to kiss. 2 minutes to go. Checkmate. He should wait for the right power up because it's coming up now. It's going to be a rolling bomb. Not going to be able to use it, but he's coming in. We got one-on-one blocks. Gem is ahead. There's a juke juice. Grief Seed's going to use it. Oh, Checkmate just misses the flag. Just barely, but he's still got a chance. He's cutting over. Grief Seed setting up the block. There's the rolling bomb. They're going to get the return, but not be able to get out of base. And Serdan is going to use a rolling bomb to grab the flag out. Got a nice boost out. Gem going to use this bomb, push him into the spikes. Great job by Gem there.
Fantastic.
Wow. That was crucial because he had the rolling bomb.
Yeah. That was basically the only way she could get the clear return was to time that bomb perfectly. But these last couple seconds, we've seen two really clutch plays by Ghostboosters. First off, it was, I believe, Franj who had the rolling bomb, and he bombed his teammate into a return. So again, an indirect play right there. Very smart tag pro IQ there.
Tell you what, Franj and Gem, both being standout players on the team right now. Franj with a nice return there as well. It's really anyone's game in the final minute here. We've got one last round of power-ups. Everyone lining up for one of the power-ups. We've got all our players fighting for a power-up. Serdan's going to take advantage of that and grab the flag, get out past two. Franj has got a boost. No gate, looking for it. And there's the juke juice. Checkmate going to use it to get on regrab. Serdan trying to get ahead of Gem. He's got a boost lane. Going to take it. Try to be aggressive. Not quite. Grief Seed's going to maybe try for a boost block. Doesn't work. They've lined it up and timed it correctly. Serdan with the boost off the wall. Backing up. Still has 4 to beat. And it's a very narrow spot. Yikes, this is getting really intense. Sir Dan with the flag, 20 seconds to go, backing up, going towards the middle. There's the bomb, and Grief Seeds pushes Gem right into the flag carrier. 10 seconds to go. Can they come up and take the lead? Not quite, and this game is going to go into the books as a tie after a very impressive comeback by the Dyson Majors team.
And if you look at the poll, Dyson Majors had almost triple the amount of polled, 6 minutes to 2. Had, and that right there, imagine having 4 minutes where you're holding and the other team doesn't or isn't. That's the kind of scoring opportunities that they were making for themselves. And again, power-ups are 18-7 in favor of Dyson Majors, so power-ups definitely had an impact in this. A great comeback when all things are said and done.
Oh yeah, that was really exciting. I feel like the first game wasn't quite that exciting, but boy, did it pay off when we watched that second game. What an amazing comeback by the Dyson Majors to be able to score those extra caps and be able to at least come away with a tie in that second game. That's really nice. They should feel very good about that effort that we saw. And what do you think
obviously
the
not
difference?
the result they were hoping for. I mean, Dyson, I believe, with the roster they had, were hoping to come out with at least one win out of this week. But considering the circumstances, they were down 4-1 after half one. I think coming into the second half, picking themselves up by the bootstraps and getting that 4-1 win, tying the game up 5-5. That was a great play by them. It's hard to ask for anything more than that. Great performance. Yeah,
I agree. And I tell you what, both of these teams are going to be teams to watch next week too. I mean, we saw some really great plays on from both players. We saw Franj really making some excellent saves. He was saving a lot of caps. Like, I can't remember, I think at least 2 or 3 times where he swooped in and just snagged the flag at the last second, pulled out a base. Looks like we're voting for player of the game in chat here. I see a lot of votes for Gem.
Speaking of Gem, do you think we should go in and try to get captain interviews or interviews with players?
I don't know. Let's see. What do we think? Yeah, let's give it a shot. Let's go towards the Ghostboosters.
Let's bring in Gem to MLTP Live. Get her to be our inaugural interviewee.
You want to, Nicole? Oh, all right. We got Gem here joining us. Oh, I don't know if she can hear us. Hey, how's it going, Gem?
What's up, bro?
Not too much. Really interesting game tonight. We really liked seeing a lot of the plays that we saw from you guys, and it seemed like you guys were really dominating the power-ups this game, and had a lot of like team play together. What have you guys been working like particularly hard on either of those?
I don't really know. We didn't have much practice over the break. Swerve was on vacation, and Corky was just like kind of AWOL as he's always been. But that's always been Franj's main priority, is just staying on top of pops and making sure we're staying ahead and whatnot. But we definitely we lost our momentum sometimes in the game, especially that second half. Always on OD, it was tough, but yeah.
Yeah. So with that second half, like what do you think the biggest factor was in that just that little slip in the momentum?
Yeah. Corky definitely started lagging early, and then Franj, I guess, forgot how to play OD and just got obliterated by Grief every time. The plays that Grief was making was just insane. You know, even just the suicide me off the flag tile. Everybody else was just watching. And it was always only one GB by the Dyson flag, and everybody else was kind of just like, oh shit, like, I guess I should be closer. And that was how they got a lot of caps, was just us like kind of like deer in headlights in their base, which was really frustrating, but you know, well deserved on their part. Yeah,
definitely some really nice plays that we saw from them. One of the other things that we were looking at this week was the map Rush, being the first season that's been played in Major League Tag Pro. What I know you guys did well on that map, but what do you guys think of that map as a competitive Tag Pro?
I think it's pretty good. I like a map where it's kind of equally defensive as it is like catered to offense, and then it's not dominated by the way that velocity is. I find that velocity is just almost too much to handle. Maybe that's just a personal weakness of mine, but just managing 4 different pups and then like chasing it in, 4 like very wide lanes. Rush is a little more constricted with team tiles on the sides. And like I mentioned already, only 2 pups. So I think it's pretty well suited for competitive play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point. That only having the 2 power-ups really limits the usefulness of those. And we saw some power-ups. It almost seemed like the tag pros. I don't know who you paid off, Jem, but you were getting so many tag pros in that first game.
Yeah, I have no idea. That's just luck of the draw, I guess.
So yeah, those power-ups really crucial there. But thanks for hopping in. It was a pleasure streaming your game. And thanks for coming in and answering some questions.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks so much, guys, for streaming. I'll catch you later.
Yeah, definitely. And let's see if we can pull in Franj as well. Actually, guard. He said 1 sec. Okay, so we'll just wait to see if we get some interviews with.
In the meantime, we can look at the scores around the league. KG Ballers ended up winning their first game 7-4 against Slag Prone, and they're currently tied 1-1 on Iron. That's basically the only update we've got. Most other games are going to be played later. I guess Base Gods are leading 2-1 against Adrenaline Spikes in game 1, half 1 on Rush it is. But so far, that's all we've got for you. I guess a win and a tie for Ghostboosters is pretty good against a team that was viewed as one of the best.
All right, yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the update, Liquid. And now we've got Franj, who has joined us for a little bit of an interview following that amazing comeback. Franj, how are you doing?
I was feeling better. You know how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that it seemed like that first game was really difficult, but and then you had the start of the first game too, going down by a few caps, but really something changed going into that last half, and you guys really had came back and almost ended up winning it, but came up with a nice tie. What can you attribute to that change in momentum?
Well, I think what started off was they started getting more and more pups than us, and they kept the flag out a lot more than us. And that just started, and from there we just started to tilt, honestly. And I think that's the point that we're going to need to work on this season, because one, we're not tilting, as Jake just said to us right before I came over. I think we're going to be one of the better teams in the league. But the key is to make sure that we are clicking and that we are in sync rather than just kind of flustered like we were for a while.
I think that's really important that you brought that up, because what we saw was some really excellent performances, individual performances from your team. I know, like, you in particular had a lot of saves where you would like swoop in, grab the flag, and prevent a cap, and we were just seeing some really. It's quite evident that your team has a lot of talent. But the main thing is, like, can you take that talent and really turn it into teamwork and have that momentum? It seems like the momentum was the biggest thing, and once you guys came back and applied that momentum in that second half, it really started clicking for you guys. So it's something that I'm sure you guys will be working on, and in future games it'll be interesting to see how you're able to develop.
Mm-hmm.
Liquid, you got any questions?
Yes, actually. One thing I noticed that you guys were doing a lot was playing the anti-regrab strategy. Are you the one who came up with that idea? How did you guys decide to implement it?
It's just, I guess that I don't even remember, because, a majority of our strategies stem from over a season's worth of chemistry on the major side, really. So yeah, I mean, one of the best ways to stop a regrab train is to just run an anti-regrab. It's simple as that. So, I mean, who started that? I probably just have to credit Jem with that. I mean, yeah, but I think we capped at least once directly off an anti-regrab.
Way more than once. You guys are doing really well with that strategy.
Yeah. Obviously, I feel like I didn't see it directly, but
Well, either way, you guys were really good at implementing it, and it's something we noticed throughout the stream, that you guys were very smart about how you decided to play the anti-re. And one last quick question for you. You were saying it yourself that most of your roster is the same as last season, with you, Gem, Corky still starting in the lineup, but we've got the addition of Swerve. How has he been integrating so far?
Swerve is really impressing me so far. It's nice to, start off the season with someone that you really haven't gotten to play with before and have a sort of natural feeling of chemistry with them. And I feel like we started that. It's also nice to just that Swerve is a reliable player and he's got plenty of experience. So one of my weak points, as I'm sure was spoken about before, was OD. And I feel like Swerve's been covering my back a few times on that.
Awesome. Yeah, it's really cool to see that you guys are playing off of the that chemistry that you've built up over a season, and Swerve coming in and adding to that too. It was a tough end for you guys, but really throughout the other three halves we saw complete domination, and I think you guys are clearly making yourselves known as a presence in this league, and it'll be fun to watch your games that are coming up. I know that those are definitely be really interesting to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I think it's great for us right now, just looking forward, because I know and I know the rest of my guys and Gem feel almost disappointed by the end of that game, and we're going up against what's predicted to be one of the best teams in the league. So if we're disappointed with a win and a tie against them, you can only go up from there, really.
Yeah, exactly. That's a nice way to look at it. Well, I think that'll do it for us. I want to thank you for your time coming here, answering a few questions, playing a pretty good game here overall tonight. It was really fun to watch, and I wish you guys luck in the future in your future game.
All right, thanks, guys. See ya.
Yep. No. Well, I think that's going to about do it for us here at MLTP Live. I want to send a special thank you out to Nikoba for helping on the stream side, and Liquid here for helping me with some co-commentary. And that'll do it. Make sure you guys keep tuned to the subreddit here for future announcements of our games, and if you follow us, you'll be able to get an email when we go live. But for this week, this is Ron Sponson signing off.